Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about tripods. Now, this may not necessarily be a very sexy topic, especially in terms of the world of video, but it's probably one of the most important things because this is the things that support all of our cameras, our rigs and everything else. So I'm actually got two products from Ulanzi that I'm going to be talking about today. The first is going to be the Ulanzi VideoFast Tripod. This is the carbon fiber version. And then I'm going to talk about this guy right here, which is the TT38 tripod, which I'm going to tell you this right now. This guy right here has saved me and really changed my workflow and changed my life for the better in terms of productions, especially quick turnaround or event stuff like weddings. This has been clutch, and you're going to learn all about why in this video, so stay tuned. All right, before we get started with this video, I need to get some disclaimers out here. And the first is the fact that Ulanzi is not sponsoring this video. In fact, I don't even know if they know I'm making this video. They didn't send me any of these products over. I actually bought both the VideoFast as well as the TT38 with my own money. And so this is someone who went out, spent his own money, and put both of these products on real life test shoots. So no biases here. You're just gonna get my honest opinion, both positive and negative. Now, even though Ulanzi didn't provide these products for me, I do have affiliate links in my description below if you guys are interested in these products. And if you do, just use those affiliate links because those help support the channel and helps me continue to make content out here. And I really would appreciate the continuous support that you all have given me. So while this is a Ulanzi focus video, this is more to do with just how awesome these products is, especially given the cost. And I really am a fan of these two products. And I figure, especially these are more both in the budget friendly, especially the TT38, which we'll get to later. But even this one, you can get this whole thing for, this is the carbon fiber version. You can get this for, I believe, $600. And I believe the aluminum one is just like somewhere in the $300, $400 range. So, especially for the type of system that this tripod is, which is, thank goodness, it's growing and becoming more popular, and hopefully, you know, through not having to deal with any legality problems like some other companies. So the Ulanzi VideoFast Tripod is very similar to a lot of your typical standard tripods, but I feel for the price and for the money, this is a well-designed kit. So first, let's give off to some of the main features. And the main feature about this tripod is, as you'll see here, this is a one latch system, similar to Sockler, to Sururi's tripod system, if you can actually find it, and the YC Onion Pinetta Peak tripods, or something like Small Rigs, the small rig version like this, not the potato jet one, but the more affordable one. I want to give a little brief backstory on how I came up to this tripod. So I originally had the YC Onion Pinetta Peak tripod for first going out because I've been looking to buy a tripod. And I originally bought the YC Onion Pinetta Peak one, which is a very popular of these like one latch tripod systems. In terms of like the idea of that tripod, I did like it more than this one, in terms of the latches being up here. So no matter what, you're lifting everything up right here, the latches stay with you. Instead, this is sort of kind of like the small rig one where it sort of drops to sort of the midway point, which I'll be honest, I'm not as a fan as the alternative version. But there's also just real world use cases. And I know a lot of YouTubers that I'm affiliated with use the YC Onion. This, unfortunately, I don't know if it's just my version that I got, I had an awful experience with that tripod. The main thing is that the latch that normal for most tripods are like down here, the ball head that locks the ball head in place that lets you level it out. On the YC Onion, it's actually like a lever that's right here. Well, in the middle of a wedding ceremony shoot, that lever basically crapped out on me. And and any sort of camera, no matter what the size, once that thing crapped out, nothing I put on that tripod would just it would just tilt and bend over, and it just would not look. So it rendered that tripod useless, number one. And number two, it made me go down one camera that I would be using on those weddings. Now, the other tripod that I'm going to be talking about from Ulanzi helped save me for that wedding, and I'll go more into that when I get to that. So I was already having an awful taste in my mouth with the YC Onion Peanut at Peak. And that experience just turned me completely off of the product. So I decided I did some more. Unfortunately, I was looking at potentially the Sururi. Unfortunately, that one is like impossible to get now. I don't know if it's just there's some legality that's caught up with Sockler or some other line that they may be dealing with. But I decided to bite the bullet and go with Ulanzi. Now, in terms of the carbon fiber tripod legs, this is actually pretty solid. It feels it's a bit more on the heavier side, but I think that's more to do with the head, which is one of the big, in my opinion, one of the big selling features of this tripod set is the fluid head that you actually get with this. So as I will demonstrate here, this tripod has a one latch system. Now, there is a thing that kind of annoys me about this is that when I release these latches, if you try to loosen them and lock them when the tripod is on the floor and then try to raise it up, it doesn't, the bottom latches tend to get stuck. What I have found is when you do this with this tripod, it's actually probably better if you start it with holding it in the air. So you grab the handle and then just release the latches and let gravity take its course, lock it in, and that seems to be the best way to get this tripod in place rather quickly. Now, and then breaking it down, I found that if you just sort of swing it to pressure from one leg to the other, like this, it's pretty quickly of how to get this disassembled and put it up and ready to carry off. The next pro that I have with this is just one, the load capacity, but also the stability of the tripod, which is one of the big things that are very big about tripods. This may seem silly, but in terms of a budget tripod, this isn't something that necessarily comes around for every single tripod. Like the tripod that I'm filming this video on right now is a tripod that if I just nick it just a little, it's going to get shaky, it's going to get sturdy. And now, luckily, I have my Sony FX3, so it's not a heavy set on it. But as you'll see here, I got my Blackmagic Cinema Camera full frame camera with my dual lens APO macro prime. The other thing I really like is the quick latch system. So it's just one of those that you just slide in, pops, and lock it in. As you can see, it's pretty sturdy. Now it's still shaking, obviously, but it's with the feet. I think the feet do an excellent job of helping with the stability of this tripod, and this thing can handle the weight of this setup. But as you can see, which we'll also talk about later with the fluid head, it can handle this weight, the weight of this camera, without any issues whatsoever. And I think this is a good segue to go into the fluid head of this tripod. And this is to me, outside of the one latch system, this is the best thing about this tripod is the fluid head. You get your nice little counterbalance. You get tilt and pan counterbalance. You can control the speed at which you pan and tilt. And as you'll see right here, right now like completely open. There's no, neither the pan or tilt axis is locked up, and you can see it has a great counterbalance. I'm not even using the full counterbalance. I think I'm about halfway on the counterbalance system. And then the drag system right here, which makes this go easily. So right now I'm like halfway there. I'm gonna bring this down so you can see for the drag completely loose. Let's go back to, this is right now at 4, which I feel is like the best balance. And then let's pull the drag system for the tilt. And as you can see, pretty good. And I got a nice little counterbalance to it. And it's smooth. The bubble head is pretty accurate in terms of leveling, but you should always just check your eyes. That's why I always say get crosshairs when you're using cameras. If you got thirds crosshairs, use that, or horizontal level, use the ones on your camera, and always just trust your eyes to just double check. But this fluid head is awesome, and I have been using this. It makes getting smooth pan tiltable shots really, really easily. This is a pretty awesome fluid head. It's got a nice, this handle's it's nice and solid. It's screwed on. Once you screw it on, it looks great. The mid-level spreaders, you can't see them right now. They solid. They get the job done. I just wish that there was a ground system, a ground spreader. Unfortunately, this didn't come with one, and I didn't see one that actually came with one. But it does its job very well. You can't go, unfortunately, you can't go completely like full on take this out and just like spread it out. The weight of, especially like a heavier camera like this, will make the tripod unbalanced. But you can get pretty low to the ground with this. So if you want to get those low angle shots, and yeah, ever since I've had this tripod, I have been shooting weddings, interviews and stuff. This tripod has been killer. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that the Ulanzi VideoFast Tripod does fit the name that it is presented, which is VideoFast. It gets you pretty fast and set up and get your tripod level pretty quickly. And I really enjoyed it. It's light enough that you can travel and that you can pick up with a camera and put it over your shoulders and walk around without any little issues. I really love this tripod, and this tripod has saved me on some situation where we had to get on very uneven ground for a wedding to do some photo shoots, and this thing was able to hold it, get nice steady shots, and being able, and especially with something like the Ulanzi Triassic 50mm, which is a macro lens, having a tripod like this that is very sturdy, quick to set up, quick to get to, it helps so much. And this is like if I'm doing any macro shots, this is the tripod that I'm going to be using of the ones that I have here. So now I want to go ahead and talk about the Ulanzi TT38 tripod. I love this guy. This is an awesome and very innovative tripod. Now you may be looking at it and wondering, how is this a tripod? It looks like a pistol grip. And you would be at first maybe looking correct, but as you will notice right here, there is a switch button right here at the front. So when I push on it, as you see, it opens the other legs up. And I typically use this tripod with my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So I can, and what's great about it is that when I'm doing some maybe gimbal shots, I'll take the Osmo, put one here, right here, so this adds some stabilization, do your ninja walk, and then using this and get much more stabilized footage holding it this way. And it's awesome, and I love it. And then what's great about it is that when I'm done, I easily just pull that out and then just drop it. I can set it down anywhere. anywhere I want. The other thing I love is it's got this nice little like Arca Swiss style quick release system, and that where you could just push it down and it will lock it in place. You got a nice little ball head that you can sort of help level your tripod out. So if you're on uneven territory, that's all great. So you can use this on smaller cameras, like maybe you have, say, an S9, maybe you have the FX3 with a small lens. And this will support the weight of those cameras. But I have found the Osmo Pocket to be maybe the perfect combination with this tripod. And it's because of one secret additional feature that this tripod has. And that is this, which is a latch that if you want to put the tripod up, you can use the legs, put this as support, and then you can, this may not be the best, but you can sort of put this tripod into interesting and unique positions. And that has, when I say that has saved my butt, that truly did save my butt. So that shoot and that wedding that I did, where I said that the YC Onion crapped out on me, I grabbed this guy and I put this at the front of this Catholic church that we were doing the ceremony at, and this latch just attached it to the front of the pew, and then I would pull this up, lock it in, pull it up and lock it in, and then I can have control. And this would just be a nice wide of the front, where one, if you've done weddings, it's sometimes get challenging when everybody stands up when the bride comes in. Well, now I had a frontal view of the bride, and it's not in anybody, it doesn't disrupt anybody's viewing of the ceremony, and it creates a very interesting perspective. In the last wedding that I actually did, the bride and groom were actually sitting off to the side, and I actually put this tripod along with the Osmo Pocket 3 right behind where they were sitting. So I got the shoulders of both the bride and the groom while also getting the perspective of the priest, which created a very, very unique and very interesting perspective that makes a cool cutaway shot. There's just so much creativity in terms of what you can do with this setup with the Osmo Pocket 3, especially, and I don't even need to be near the camera. What's great about it is that I can set this up, I can be on my second camera going in getting those tight shots, and then I can just pull out my phone, go into the DJI Mimo app, and then I still have control of the gimbal. So if I need to change perspective, like maybe say I'm actually up front following the bride down the aisle, I can actually set this right up here and catch the shot. And also just being able to sit this maybe somewhere, or even sitting on the ground and having it aimed directly at center, it creates a shot where if there's something that happens, you still have a shot to give, which I really love about this. And it's just, this just opened up a whole different perspective with something like the Osmo Pocket 3 and this little tripod, which only costs 40 bucks. This changed my entire shooting and changes and gives me different perspectives, because this little tripod allows me to do a style on the Osmo that I really love doing, which is sort of like a very wide but also close up sort of ant's eye view of like maybe a powerful opponent or of some sort of interesting dialogue that just creates a very interesting perspective but doesn't take up a lot of space. So putting something like as affordable as something like the Osmo Pocket 3 with something super affordable like this, the Ulanzi TT38, this combo is just like opens up your whole door in terms of opportunities. So this has been my video of the Ulanzi TT38 as well as the Ulanzi VideoFast tripods. I would love to know if these are two products that you are interested in. Let me know, leave your comments down below. And as always, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, take care, everyone.